Iron Sheik, WrestleMania 3, and then 20 years later, he says, break your back, make you humble, blah, 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 blah. He didn't even seem to realise that he had Jim Brunzell in the camel clutch when he made those statements. Was Iron Sheik just running his own angle in this shoot interview? Because it seemed to shock you as much as everyone else.
Well, I think that Sheik got embarrassed because we used to shoot with each other. I mean, WSI. I mean, we'd actually shoot for a couple minutes. And Khosrow was a tremendous hooker, a great shooter. And usually I'd be the guy to tap, quick tap, quick tap. Well, in Hershey, I wound up making the Sheik tap. And he was really, it was right in front of Nikolai. We were close to the corner, and Nikolai started riding his butt, and Sheik didn't like to be ribbed. And so I always thought, that's what he was mad about, because he was hot the whole match. I mean, he was mad at me the whole match. And I said, Sheik, it's your game. I'm just playing the game with you. I played it like a gentleman. You need to play it like a gentleman. Oh, you jabroni, whatever. So it just morphed into more than, and I think at the same time too, he probably, since he was on the Howard Stern show often, which Howard Stern kept calling me, trying to get me on the show. And I just, didn't want those guys beaten, it'd be me against them. And obviously, where that would go, James. So anyway, I think that's why he had so much animosity toward me.
Excuse me, frog in my throat. I think he maybe gives this interview in the mid-2000s. And how long after you heard it did you make up? Because I know there was a comedy roast, and you end up, to use the parlance, shooting an angle where he slaps you, and then you both rushed off and da-da-da-da-da. But the guy who sorted that comedy roast out of Iron Sheik said, actually, it was all pre-prepared and everything. But how long in between him making those comments on that DVD and you meeting up with him did you sort of squash the heat, as it were?
To me, James, I really never had heat against Khosrow. I always know that, he looked at things differently, coming from Iran, being one of the Shah's bodyguards at one time, totally having the different mindset, knowing all the things that the guys put him through. Jimmy Brunzell tells some tremendous stories about when Sheik was breaking in Minnesota and some of the things they did to him. And, Orndorff would tell me he opened up a bowling alley and Sheik would bring a big towel, a case of Heineken, and start doing exercises, Hindu squats and all that in his bowling alley parking lot and under the shade tree there. And finally he had to run him off out of the bowling alley. But the Sheik, he's just a character, and you never know what's going through his mind. And so I don't hold anything against him.
No. I wonder if he knows what's going through his mind sometimes, because just words just maybe seem to come out before he even thinks about them.
That's exactly right. A lot of people do that. They don't think before they speak, and words have consequences.
Hmm.